What's up, you guys? Matt Jablonski here with the Point of Change. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to let some people get here, let this feed build up for a little while. Today is Toothless Tuesday. If you have no idea what Toothless Tuesday is the day every week where I come on here without my top denture to show support for those of us who have lost teeth due to our addictions, to remind you guys that we're not stupid, we're not ugly, we're not dumb. Society has put that on us for so long. I mean, just think about if you got a cartoon character and you want him to look stupid, what do? Knock out a few of his teeth, right? So it's not true. It's not true. We're beautiful people. Give me just a second to share this out a little bit. If you guys would, go ahead and give me some likes, give me some loves. If you're on YouTube, like this video and subscribe to my page. If you're on Facebook, then give me some likes and loves and share out onto your own page or into any addiction groups you may be a part of, may or may not be a part of. If you're not a part of the group, you can't share it to it, Maddie. Jeepers creepers. Oh, I got some comments coming in, I see. Good morning, Anna. Peter from Texas, how you doing, man? Brittany, good to see you. Nathan, how you doing, man? Catherine, Lance, good morning. Pam, I love Tay and you too, Maddie. Aw, thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. She's right over there sleeping on a pillow because she's adorable. You're a princess, aren't you? Yes, you are. So today's topic, once I get to it, after you give me just a minute here, I'm going to share this out a little bit, and then we are going to talk about relapse prevention today, because methamphetamine, guys, is an extremely dangerous drug. It's extremely highly addictive, and a lot of people go back to it. So I want to talk a little bit about that and talk about why it happens and the dangers of it. And we're going to go over some announcements before I get into that. We'll go over my speaking engagements that are coming up here. And let me see. Where else should we go with this video today? Let's go to Clean and Sober. That's what's up. Right on. What's up, Drew? Oh, Lori Waters, good morning. Danielle says, thank you. I need help in this area. Right on, right on. Using meth again is possibly the worst idea you could ever have, Danielle, and I hope you don't do it. Deanna Cutler, good morning. I'm in the hospital with no teeth. Oh, well, Toothless Tuesday is here for you, dear. Julie Brown, good morning, guys. Thank you guys all for being here, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's get back to the events real quick. We'll get over this. So February 6th, that is this Thursday, I will be in Ladysmith, Wisconsin at the Ladysmith High School. This is the reality tour. This is not my own personal event. This is put on by someone else. I've been chosen as their keynote speaker. My mother and I will be sharing this night. This is a condensed version of my mother and I sharing, though. And this is also for Ladysmith High School students, or I'm guessing, I don't know. I don't know if I should say Ladysmith School District students, because I think we should let the middle schoolers come too, but I don't know if that's allowed. But students must be accompanied by a parent. Parents must be accompanied by a student. You can't just be an adult and show up with no student. You can't just be a student and be here without your parents. 6:30 p.m. that is, if I didn't say it. The next day, February 7th, is 12 p.m. They're making an impact with your clients. This is a luncheon meet and greet with me. I will be telling a condensed version of my story, and then we will do a extended Q&A. This is for medical professionals. This is for people who work in the health field or people who work in the recovery field. If you would like to be there this Friday, February 7th at the Ladysmith Library, please call that number that's scrolling across the bottom there and get registered to come see me speak. And it's an extended Q&A too. So if you're working in the medical professional, you're a medical professional working in the medical field, and you would like some experience hearing a meth head story and one-on-one conversation with a meth addict or recovering meth addict, and hear not only my story, but they want me to highlight a little bit as to, how can I say this? Maybe what I wish people had known when they were dealing with me back in those days. They kind of worded it funny. They asked me to do this about what I think people could have done differently. And when you ask me that, I really don't know. I don't know what would have helped me, how they could have handled it differently. What happened and couldn't have happened any other way. I'm a firm believer in that. So I was a little stumped, but then they said to maybe highlight areas of things that I wish people had known back when I was struggling. And I think I can pull that off. That I can do. And the third and final and huge, this is the big one, guys. This is this Saturday, February 8th, 10:30 a.m. Me and my mama will be at the Ladysmith Library. Come on down, have donuts and coffee, and hear an extended version of my mother and I of our journey through my addiction and my recovery, and how my addiction and my recovery, both how they have affected her life. So come on down if you're in the Northwoods and you want to see me speak, and come hang out with me. All right, I'm going to take that away. Good morning, Heidi. How are you? Good to see you here. Nate's going to be there right on. Pam Tullis says hello. Anna Smith shared it out. Thank you, Anna. That's awesome. Shirley says hi to Heidi. Good morning, everybody. So today's topic, we're going to talk a little bit about relapse prevention, and I want you guys to go along with me in the comments here. Let me know what these ideas, what you think of them. Let me know what you have done in the past when you've been on that verge, when you're on that edge. You're thinking back to them old days. You're thinking of them as the good old days. There's a lot of reasons why people relapse, and it goes a long ways to tell you how screwed up the world is these days, guys. That is an X factor in the addiction problem, is how screwed up the world is. It's causing a lot of depression. It's causing a lot of anxiety. People have a lot of troubles just dealing with day-to-day life these days. So don't factor that out. I know that is a thing we have to factor in. It sucks, but it is the truth, Other things that factor into why people relapse is a lot of times people relapse in their first year of recovery. You haven't gained a lot back in your first year of recovery. Most people will say that they have not gained much back from recovery yet. Recovery is a long process, and unfortunately, drug addiction leaves you very programmed to instant gratification. We want things and we want them now. We want to feel better, but we want to feel better now. We want to be in recovery, but we want to be in recovery now. You don't want to wait the time that it takes in recovery to feel better. That is a huge killer for us in early recovery, is because in your mind, this horrible, shitty feeling, this guilt, the shame, not only that, but the physical withdrawal and detox off of drugs, everything you're going through, the disrespect from people, because in your first year of recovery, a lot of people don't even really believe that this is real. Like, they look at you and they're waiting for you to trip. They're waiting for you to fall because they've heard it in the past and they've seen drug addicts stumble again. So they don't look at you and say, yep, we got all the hope in the world for you. When you're in your first year of recovery, people are still like, watchful eyes are on you, man. And that can set us back so many times. That sets us back because everybody's looking at you, and nobody believes you. Nobody thinks this is real. So they're all judging you. Oh, there's that so-and-so girl again. Oh yeah. Oh, she's in recovery now. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. Those kind of things come out real quick in that first year. Nobody believes you. And I mean, honestly, they probably, that lends itself to how hardcore drug addiction is. People are very used to seeing us slip up and fall back and die and lose everything again. So it's hard for them to get their heart on you. I mean, don't be a child, Matthew. Okay. It's hard for them to get their full heart into your recovery, because if they fall for it, if you do screw up, do you know how bad it crushes people when we relapse? Our family and our friends that had their hopes and their dreams all high for you now. They're like, yes, they're going to do it this time. I actually believe it. And then all of a sudden you steal from them again, or you fall off again. And it can be crushing for your family. So honestly, their guard is up, and it's for a good reason, but it's a stumbling stone for us. It sure is. So you need to know know in your heart and soul that yes, they might be looking at you with them judgmental eyes. Yes, they are concerned about you. Yes, all that's true, but you need to focus on you. You can't focus on what other people are saying about you, or if they're talking shit, if they're talking good, whatever it is. You can't focus on other people's opinions of you. You have to focus on your recovery right now. I get a lot of messages from people saying my family doesn't believe me, or my friends don't believe me, and it's pissing me off, and this. It's gonna piss you off. Of course it pisses you off. You're putting your freaking work in here, man, and they're not believing you. And they're still bringing up your past. And, oh, remember that time you didn't show up for Thanksgiving, or you weren't there for your kids, and blah, 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 blah. It gets frustrating. But brush it off, guys. You gotta grow some thick skin here in recovery, because if you slip up because of what they were talking about, you could die. I mean, every relapse is worse. Every time it's worse. There's more drugs, more debauchery, more chances of death, and you don't just die from the drugs. There is a huge gray area there we don't talk about, where you live with a drug addiction for years, and you spend years just doing worse and worse and losing everything, and teeth falling out. I mean, this isn't, I'm telling you guys it's okay, but at the same time, this isn't okay. I got to live like this. I got to put my teeth in every freaking morning. I'm 33 years old. You don't need this. You don't want this. That instant gratification that comes with methamphetamine and other illicit drugs, that comes with a drug addiction, you get so tuned to instant gratification. Like I said, we want things and we want them now. We want to be in recovery, but we want it now. If it's not going to make me feel better tomorrow, I don't want it. I don't know how many times I felt that way, even during my drug addiction. If you couldn't get me drugs right now, I'd tell you, well, don't make sure you call me before you get me a bag then, because I'm still going to be blowing up every other person's phone until I get a bag, and it doesn't matter where it comes from. I want it right now. That's how and if you could get it tomorrow, I don't care. I don't want you to tell me I can get it tomorrow. I want it right now. Like, that's how drugs tune you to be. So then when you come into recovery, here's your options to feel better. You can either wait 6 months to 2 years to feel better in recovery, or you can wait you can wait an hour. You can go get high again and feel better right now. And that trips us up so bad. And it can trip you up at any point. That thought doesn't just trip us up in the beginning. That thought can trip you up a year and a half down the road, but all of a sudden you still don't feel like you're feeling any better. It's been a year and a half, you're in recovery, and you still feel stagnant. This happens because drugs numb you out that bad to where you can go a couple of years without feeling better. And I know that sucks, but this is the raw truth. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it to get you to come into recovery. I want you to come into recovery. I don't want to scare you off with these things, but at the same time, you need to know, So a year and a half down the road, you're still not feeling any better. A lot of people trip up. A lot of people go back to using because they know that using drugs will make you feel better right now. So it's a horrible stumbling stone for us. It really is. Guys, I'm telling you, if you put the work in, if you just keep going and make it your priority to feel better, you will feel better. Just push for it. You have to work at this. You can't just sit back stagnant in your recovery and expect to feel better. It doesn't work that way. You have to put the work in. You have to reach out. You have to get a better job. You have to find a house. You have to work on yourself. This isn't just an outside job. This isn't just to impress people. This isn't just to get probation off your back. This isn't just to impress the judge so you get off easy. This is so you can live. Bro, this is so you can live. I mean, keep pushing, guys. I know this isn't easy. I know it sucks. Trust me. As a guy who recovery wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for this guy. I tried to kill myself in recovery. I lost my dad in recovery. I lost everything in recovery. But you know what? I just kept going. I didn't go back to using those drugs because I knew that was not the answer. I've seen how that road ends. I did it for 13 years. I went back to those drugs. Every time shit went wrong, I went back to those drugs, and I know how that ends. And so it doesn't really matter what you try doing this time. Just stay away from doing the drugs. I mean, go work on your car. Go exercise. Go for a run. Get a dog and put your love into that. Get a job and don't become a workaholic, but like focus on a job, become a company man for a while. Do you. I mean, just don't go back, guys. Don't go back. Because you don't just die from the overdose. You don't just die from the drugs. There are so many other things that kill you in a drug addiction, and so many things that will slowly kill you in a drug addiction and take everything away from you. It's not just the drugs. It's the lying. It's the manipulation. It's the late night. It's the criminal activity. It's running around with a gun. It's other people running around with guns, mentally unstable people that you're dealing with on a daily basis, and they're generally running around with a gun. That is unsafe, to say the least. That is unsafe. Danielle says a dog or a cat. I agree, Danielle. I agree. I'm not much of a cat person. Best case scenario, you get the best cat in the world, it still shits in your house. That's walks all over in a box full of poop and then jumps on your counter and walks around where you make sandwiches and licks your butter. Damn butter licking little. Anyways. Oh, here we go, Luisha. Post-acute withdrawal. It can take up to 2 years for our brains to rejuvenate. It takes learning and reading. It takes determination and perseverance. It takes everything inside of you, don't it, Lou? Yes, it does. Post-acute withdrawal syndrome, or PAWS, as we call it, is a killer. It really is. That is right after the pink cloud, too. So you come into the pink cloud feeling awesome about recovery, loving everything, pushing for a better tomorrow, like hardcore, like feeling more alive than you've ever felt in your life when you're on that pink cloud, and then PAWS kicks in, and all of a sudden everything's boring and everything starts to suck again. And a lot of times that gets kicked in by what we talked about, by other parties, by that second party bringing up your past and people not appreciating where you are. And the praise dying off is another thing that kicks our PAWS in. Like, okay, and this is not to... All right, I don't know. This is a weird thing to talk about. It's not like I'm telling you to do something or not to do something. This is just how it happens, okay? When you are in early recovery and people actually believe you and they start to see the growth in you and they start to compliment you, you start to actually, you're making forward progress, right? You got a job and you got your new apartment and you got your license back and you're doing these good things. And people are watching you do this and they're like, oh my God, you're so amazing. Oh my God, you're doing so good for yourself. Oh, you look so good. Oh my goodness. They're seeing this outside growth and they're like, oh my God, you're doing so good. They don't see the inside growth going on. The inside growth takes part after the physical transformation, after you start looking better and start holding down a job and start doing all this outward stuff. Everybody's praising you for all that, right? Well, then the inside change starts to happen. You start to lose bitterness. You start to lose the panic that you used to have. You start to make amends with people and you start to grow and develop on the inside. And all of this is actually a more important change than everything that's been happening outside of you. The change that happens on the inside is the most important one, but unfortunately, it's the one that goes unnoticed. It's the one that people don't recognize. Nobody comes up to you and says, oh my God, you look so good. You look like you lost resentment today. They don't say that because you don't see it, and that can be a crusher for us, not getting praise when we're still definitely making changes and the praise dies off because you've held a job for a while now. You're in recovery. You haven't been doing drugs again. So like it gets to a point where they're like, okay, we're not going to applaud a fish for swimming. It's great that you're doing this, but you got to keep doing it. We're not going to keep telling you good job every day. And that's understandable. To me, I kind of felt like I was happy when the praising started to die off, because I felt like the praising was way too much. Because in my first year in recovery, yes, I was making big moves on the outside, but I was still hurting on the inside. And I was still living on my best friend's couch, still just working a normal job. I didn't have my own place. I didn't have my license back. I didn't have much. And people were like, oh my God, you are doing amazing. You are doing awesome. And it really made me feel like, I don't know. It made me feel like, what kind of a piece of crap was I, that living on my buddy's couch and going to a normal frickin' job is considered stellar and amazing now. Like that's normal stuff for normies. But for me, it was considered amazing and wonderful. And that started to get into my head, that thoughts. That's other people's opinions. Again, that's other people's opinions getting in, but it got into my head a lot. And I started to feel like, I started to get down about it, I wished people wouldn't be telling me I'm doing amazing is what it came down to. So then when the praising died off and people stopped doing that so much, I was perfectly fine with that. Now I'm a little more understanding when people tell me how amazing I'm doing or that I'm doing great things. Like, I'm like, okay, well, thank you. I can appreciate that now. Lou says, yes, the pink elephant, when everything is perfect and then life happens. It feels that it's feelings that control us until you learn to control them. Ooh, that's deep, Lou. That's deep. Oh, Julie Brown says, be the change. That's beautiful. Thank you, Be. Thank you, Julie. Lori says, I still have the bitterness. I'm sorry to hear that, Lori. You just work on it, though. I mean, well, some of us are, maybe that's just the way you were built, to be a little bitter. But you can work on it. I mean, if there's things about yourself that you don't like, I always suggest this. It's pretty simple, but if there's something about yourself you don't like, you can change it. I promise you that. Even if it's a thought that you have or something about yourself on the inside that you don't like, you can rewire your brain. You can reprogram yourself. I'm living proof that you can reprogram your brain. So don't get caught up thinking about that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Oh, let's see. I am 130 days clean and still struggling with being depressed one week and happy the next. It's crazy, Melena says. Well, that might be, that could still be mood swings. That's for sure. Your 130 days, that's almost a half a year. Woo, good job, Melena. Guys, throw up all the hearts for 130 days, by the way. That's amazing. But yeah, that depression one week and happiness the next week, that's a little bit of mood swings. I mean, it could be an underlying mental issue going on. You might not, maybe it never bothered you in the past because you were self-medicating it, So maybe go to a doctor or a therapist and talk to them about that. That could be a bipolar issue going on. But at the same time, it could just be mood swings. We are people. We are alive. Life gets troublesome. So, not everything has to be labeled as a mental illness right away. I don't agree with that thought that everything instantly, like a person makes a comment like this and right away, we jump to that instant. We want to diagnose you that you are bipolar. That sounds like textbook bipolar to me. We don't know the whole story to people. So I don't like to jump to conclusions and say, oh, you have an underlying mental illness. It could just be life stuff. Life causes these kind of things. So, but again, I will say these are things you can work on. These are things you can work through. Remind yourself every day that you are lucky to be alive, Melena. Remind yourself that you are a beautiful person, that you are needed and you are worthy, and get up with a sense of purpose in the morning. I don't know, myself, my morning workout routine has really, really, really helped me a lot, you guys. And it's not a huge workout routine. It's not like a workout for 2 hours a day. I'm not trying to be the Rock over here. I'm just trying to stay in shape and work out a little bit because so much damage that I did to my body over 13 years of meth. So it's helped me in so many ways. It's helped me get out of bed in the morning and I have a mission right away. I got to get downstairs. I got to get my pre-workout on and I got to get working out and then I got to get done with that so I can get up here and make a video. It keeps me in a routine and it keeps me on my toes and it keeps me feeling good. I wake up in the morning with that thought right away that I got to go work out. And in the first few days, the first week or so of working out again really did hurt. And it was hard to get back into the swing of it. But once I did, man, I love it again. I love it again. Sheena says, you are not alone. I go through the same thing and I have 19 months clean. 19 months. Woo! Guys, throw up all the hearts for Sheena. That is awesome. Lori starts step 3 today. Beautiful, Lori. Good work working on yourself. Self-satisfaction and self-seeking, says Lou. Understood. Tay says, I legit love your laugh. There's more of it for you. Oh, thank you, Tay. Amber, how are you? Good morning. Danielle says, what about loneliness? That's what I struggle with when I relapse. I get lonely and I go back. Yes, loneliness can not only drive you back into the drug addiction, loneliness can drive you back into the familiar. It can drive you back to that old lover that really treated you horrible, but you left them and now doing better without them, and then you get lonely and you go back. Loneliness can be such a trigger for so many things, and there is no shortage of loneliness in recovery. I definitely suggest doing meetings if loneliness is something that you really struggle with. Here's a big thing. a lot of us, we put so much credit on being in a relationship that when we're not in a relationship, we say we're alone. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you don't have anybody simply because you don't have a significant other. We completely, and how do you think that makes your family and your friends feel when you say, I'm completely alone, or I'm always alone, or I don't have anyone? You say things like that when you legit have a family and you have friends who love you and want you to do better. You know, they want you to be happy and they want you to call them. They want you to hang out with them, but you say that, you know, oh, I'm completely alone. I'm so lonely all the time. We discredit our friends and our family that are in our lives every single day. And our friends comes right down to coworkers too. There are people around us on a daily basis, but we discredit it just because we're not in a relationship. Just because you're not in a relationship does not mean you're alone. Remember that. But that loneliness, yes, it's going to be a trigger. I mean, there's no avoiding it. And recovery is full of loneliness. And that's where I definitely recommend getting to meetings, because you can meet like-minded people. And I know even if you're like me and you're a groaner about those meetings, like just go. Even if you're just going for a while, just, you know, do a few months of meetings, get yourself a support system, get yourself some people beside you so that they can fight with you, because this is not something you want to do on your own. And also become your own best friend. That has helped me so much in my recovery. Learn to love yourself, guys. And learn to not only just to love yourself, but how to be your own best friend. Now, this is an interesting concept that I use in my life. I wonder if you guys would like to try this. But I think of myself as 3 different people. You might even, when I'm talking to myself, I notice this, because I literally say, all right, we got to do this, or we got to do that. I don't say I got to do this or I got to do that. I always say we. And I'm not referring to me and my brother. I'm referring to my freaking self. But I will say, all right, when I get home, we got to do, or when we get home, we got to do this, or man, we really got to start doing this, you know. And I talk to myself as if I'm more than one person. Now, it's a little weird, maybe a little creepy, but whatever. It works for me, because here's the way I think of myself. I think of myself as a past self, a present self, and a future self. Now, future self is literally 1 second in the future to forever. That's future self. Past self is 1 second in the past, all the way back. That's past self. Now, for a long time, I was not very pleased with past self. I'm getting better at liking him. I've learned to love past self, because nowadays past self has some things that are pretty awesome about him. But when I first came into recovery, I absolutely hated past self because he was just stupid and sat back there saying stupid shit. I tied him up and threw him in a closet for a while. That's what I had to do, you know? Anyways, thinking of myself as a past self, a present self, and a future self has helped me with my loneliness in the way that I think of future self as somebody who I really freaking love. I'm like, I love that guy, and I want him to have a good time. So, and I want him to be happy. I like him to relax. I like him to not worry. So I like, as present self, I like to do things for future self to help him relax. Know what I mean? You know what I mean? I hope you're following along with me. Like present self can do things to help future self. I can get the dishes done, or I can clean the house, or I can fold the laundry, and I can do these things so that when future self gets home from work, he doesn't have to do any of that stuff. He can sit down and relax. Those are ways that I am friends with my future self. Past self, the best thing I can do for him is keep helping future self. The best thing I can do for past self is make sure that present self is making good memories, so past self has something good to look forward to, you know, or something, and make sure, yeah, he has good things to look forward to, and so that we can start respecting past self, because past self kind of sucks. So I'm working on being his best friend too. But that has helped me a lot of ways in my life, guys. And I know it sounds silly, it sounds goofy, but these little silly, goofy things that I used to think were so lame have helped me so much in my life. And I had to change everything about myself. So looking at stupid stuff like that and thinking, oh, that's lame, that's gay, I don't like that. Thinking stuff like that held me back from trying those things. You know, these little mind hacks and stuff that people have said to me for years, you know, just look at the bright side, look at the, you know. Now that I've actually started to do those things, like for instance, having like religious quotes and having a spiritual calendar and having, motivational quotes and stuff around me that I can read on a daily basis and actually, read it. What you learn today can change the future, and stuff like that really helps me. And I used to think it was all so lame. I made fun of people that lived the way I live now. This was definitely not the life I wanted to live. in my active addiction, I didn't think when I come into recovery, I'm going to be one of those douchebags that has like motivational posters on his wall. I never thought that, but it has helped me so much. It really has. It has helped me to become that douche that I never wanted to be. Danielle says, hey, weird is better than normal because normal is boring. Exactly. Let's see. Tay, they have online meetings and tons of groups. Yes, there is constant groups. And a lot of the groups here on Facebook do online meetings like that too. So that's another way you can go. Shasta says, I like that. I'm going to try it. Yes, think of yourself as 3 different people. Lori says, God lift me up. There you go. Now that's a good prayer. Okay, Danielle has slow data on her phone and has a hard time getting into online meetings. That's understandable. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Danielle. Only thing is, my family is over an hour away, and meetings I have no way to them. Oh. Sorry, I'm done making that sound now. Oh. Well, it sounds like you have some goals there, young lady. Keep working towards them. Keep working towards getting yourself to meetings. I understand it sucks, but that's one of those things where we look at it as, you got to chase your recovery like you used to chase the drugs. And I'm not saying go take an unregistered vehicle and get a gun and drive to the meeting. That's not what I mean by that. But hustle to get there. You know what I mean? Get yourself a ride from somebody, blow their phones up, go through Facebook. I'm sure if you really beat your head against the wall on this one, you can figure out a way. But if you can't, keep coming to the point of change, Danielle. I'm always here. All these beautiful people in these comments right here are all here for you. Meet somebody here. Maybe there's somebody here that would love to talk to you. Danielle says, don't sponsors come get you? Well, they can. Yes, that can, your sponsor is there to help you through your recovery, and that whatever you need to help you with your recovery is what your sponsor is there for. And when we're talking, since we're talking about relapse prevention and stuff today, guys, people in recovery, we do not want you to relapse. Guarantee it. Like, nobody wants you to relapse. So if you call us in crisis mode here, well, I'm not saying, you have to be in crisis mode. You can call us, whenever. But we're all trying to do as much as we can for each other to help each other succeed, because we don't want another person going back out there. We don't need more death. That's what we don't need. So make sure you're reaching out, guys. Reach out to your friends, your family, your support system, your sponsor, your group mates, whatever it is. Wherever you go, whatever it is that you're a part of, make sure you're talking to these people. Even if it's church, reach out to church people. Myself being so open and honest about my recovery, I have had a lot of people that just embrace me. Like, a lot of people. I'm surprised at how much, like, I think if it was some dirty little secret that people found out about me behind my back, like they didn't know it, and then they'd find out, if it was something like that, I feel like people wouldn't respect me as much for it. But, like when going to church and announcing that I'm a drug addict and, that I got so much time clean, whatever, like everybody is so loving with it. And I mean, especially people who have dealt with addiction, who have seen failure cases, people who have been there, done that. They're so understanding. There's a lot more people in this world that are understanding than we know. There's a lot more. I mean, yes, there are normies out there who say, all drug addicts should all be killed and blah, blah, blah. We have, I shouldn't say there's a lot. I don't know what the numbers are, but there are people out there who think just the worst of us. And that's because they've had drug addicts do horrible things in their lives. So it's caused them to hate us. So it's understandable on some levels. But when you face those people, in real life, yeah, they don't want you to die. Nobody wants you to die. And if those people knew how many of their friends and family were actually in recovery and have fallen victim to addiction, they wouldn't be saying those kind of things. Let's see. My pastor is helping me get into something called Celebrate Recovery. Has anyone ever heard of Celebrate Recovery? Says Danielle. Yes, I have heard of Celebrate Recovery. I love Celebrate Recovery. Celebrate Recovery is another recovery program. They have a different fundamental. It's not a 12-step recovery program. It is a different kind of recovery, and I love it. I love it. I think that it's got a different mindset. I mean, there's one thing about it that you can agree with, you can disagree with. It doesn't matter. I really don't care how people think on this. But Celebrate Recovery believes that you can achieve a lasting recovery. Now, they have evidence proving that people, there are people out there that seem to show that they have sustained a lasting recovery. They don't believe in CR, that recovery is a lifelong, that you are going to. They don't believe that it's a disease, which I don't really. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about any of that. I just want to tell you what their fundamentals are. They don't believe it's a disease. They believe that telling yourself that you're diseased and that you're broken is bad for you. I disagree with that. I think thinking that I'm broken and thinking that I'm diseased keeps me on my toes. It keeps me working on myself. But that's whatever. Each program believes their own thing. And they believe that you can achieve a lasting recovery, that you have, that you've achieved recovery. You are now a recovered addict, which some people hate, some people love. It's all on your mindset, guys. It doesn't really matter what the program says. It's what you believe in your heart and your soul and your mind. And I don't like to put labels on it all. It is what it is. It's so hard to determine, the lines of addiction and recovery is all so hard. It's all so gray. So it's, yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, what do we have going on here, Tracy? Did I miss something? Here we are. Tracy, I could really use some prayers. Lost my father-in-law and my niece in the past week. I didn't pick up, but damn, it's hard. That can be a huge stumbling block for us too, these huge life moments. Remember, Tracy, that they may be gone from us physically, but they are now all around us. That helps me a lot. And when people pass, and just try to push forward with keeping them in your mind, keeping them in your heart mindset. You want to prove them, you want to do them right, in this world. So don't be using drugs. Don't be doing them stupid old things. I'm sure those people, your father-in-law and your niece, I'm sure they were both very proud of your recovery. So make sure you stay in recovery and keep pushing. But that being said, I'm really sorry for your loss, and I hope you're okay. Let's see. Angie says, we give rides to anyone who wants to come to a meeting. Right on, Angie. Awesome. Let's see. Trade. Okay. Where are we going here? Oh, Brian Leith says, you have false teeth. So do I. However, mine hurts and I don't wear them. I am embarrassed by my non-teeth having self. I want to do live videos, however. I'm worried about people judging me. How do you get over this? You go, You use it to your advantage. You can say whatever you want about me. You can say whatever you want about Toothless Tuesday, but this is the only Facebook program where the host can eat his own mustache. What you gonna say now, motherfucker? That's right. It's funny. It's funny. Okay. So get over other people's opinions. We've already talked about that. Other people's opinions can be a stumbling stone. That's why I started the Point of Change, to show you guys you can do this, whether you have teeth or not. Myself, James Sweezy, Bradley Bagwell, we are all wonderful examples of people who make live videos with no teeth. As far as the false teeth hurting, get them relined. That's a big thing that you can do, is get them relined. Getting your false teeth relined. You're supposed to do this like once every couple of years or something like that. You're supposed to go get your false teeth relined, and then they'll fit better again. But I'm telling you, man, I don't wear my dentures here because it's Toothless Tuesday. I'm proving a point. But I'm telling you, my dentures are the biggest blessing in my life. They don't fit really well anymore. I need to go get mine relined while I'm up here preaching about it, and then I'm not doing it myself. I use a little extra gum glue on them, and you got to push through that pain. I know everyone, it's going to be uncomfortable and they hurt sometimes. My gums definitely hurt sometimes. Make sure you take them out every night, wash them good, put them in their little holder, and then put them in again the next day. I'm telling you, if you can train yourself to work with it, if you can toughen up your gums enough to wear them, they are such a blessing. You guys, they're a wonderful blessing. Let's see. Thank you all. Oh, there's Tracy. Yes. Thank you all. I'm so blessed to have my online family to help me. Yes, you are, dear. Anna Smith says, I'm a normie and would never judge addicts. Lost a family member to addiction. It's heartbreaking. I appreciate that, Anna. I really do. Let's see. Yep, that's all I got. Okay, Lori Waters. When I first came in, I didn't believe the steps could work, but now I'm on step 3. Your mindset changes with time and recovery. That's for sure. It really does. Your mindset will just automatically change. And if you're working, I shouldn't say automatically. If you're putting in the work and making recovery work for you, like, it's amazing what starts to happen in your old noggin up here. The changes that happen up in here eventually, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't even look at drugs and alcohol. I don't even look at it the same anymore. Like, I don't even have close to the same mindset towards it as I used to. Obviously, I used to love it. But it's different. Once you start to learn a little bit of recovery and you start to learn what about the underlying mental issues and you start to learn about psychology and how these things, how what your actions actually mean is happening in your life and things like that, and being able to self-diagnose yourself and understanding why you're having the thoughts that you're having and stuff like that, and working with people to better yourself, to not just get a better job, not just get a better car, but to be a better you. Like, that's such a beautiful thing. Tay Lynch, when you do good, good finds you. Tay, you're awesome. You are awesome. You always have such good comments. Tiffany Myers, having dentures is a blessing, but it's definitely a process to get used to. Yes, having dentures is just like having any other prosthetic limb. There is a period of adjustment. There's a period of learning how to use it. Can someone with a fake leg run a marathon? Yes, they can, but can they do it the day after they get their fake leg? No, probably not. They're going to have to learn how to walk with it and how to use it first. Same thing goes with dentures, guys. Can someone with dentures eat a steak? Yes, they can, but you're not going to do it on day one. It takes learning. It is just like any other prosthetic limb. And just like losing any other limb, for a while, you're still going to have phantom teeth. Like, I can still feel where my original God-given teeth, where they sit in my mouth. I can still feel that. And then my denture doesn't exactly have the same bite. So it took a long time to get used to where my denture hits on my teeth as opposed to where my real teeth used to hit on my teeth. It's all a learning process, guys. We're in recovery. We're going to be learning for a long time. Oh, man. Tay, you should, that's an awesome question. You should go watch yesterday's video for that answer, because we'll be here for another hour with that question. But yes, yesterday I celebrated 3 years clean. So go watch yesterday's video. Was my celebration of 3 years clean. And I talked about the whole turning point and all of that yesterday. By the way, personal announcement here. I got a promotion at work not long ago. I started my new job this week. Yesterday was my first day on as the unload lead. I work on a paint line, if you don't know. Hi, honey. Hi, come here. Come here. Everybody wants to see you. Come here. No, we'll go outside in a little bit. Just wait, okay? Just wait. Oh, I know. We'll go outside in a little bit. But last night, I had damn near so many anxiety attacks. Last night was really hard. I'm not good with new, okay? I'm not good with new. I'm not good at learning new jobs. I'm not good at all that. And I'm starting a new position. So, and I mean, it's really weird because I'm working with a bunch of people that I know. Thank you guys for the congratulations. I see that coming up. You're great. I'm working with all the people that I know, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So this is different for me. Normally every time I've started a new job in my life, I'm working with all new people. It's a whole new setting. It's a new job. So this is like the first time I've ever transitioned to a new position at a company, if that makes sense. I've never done that before. So it's weird and it's a learning process. I learned a few things yesterday. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. They kept asking me yesterday if I like it. Hey, you like it? Is it going good? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I like it because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So let's see. Angel says, congrats on 3 years and great news on the job. I love your furry baby. So cute. Isn't she great? Troy McNeil says, congratulations on 3 years. Right on. Thank you, Troy. Tiffany Myers, congratulations, Matt, on 3 years. Thank you. Lori Waters, congratulations. Woo! Thank you, guys. Anna says, practice makes perfect. Yes. Give me a couple weeks there, and then I'll know what the hell I'm doing, and then I'll have a better idea of whether or not I like what I'm doing. But right now, I don't know. I really have no idea if I like what I'm doing or not. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope some of this helped you. I hope you took away some relapse prevention tricks from this, and I hope you guys get in touch with the support system. Get yourself something going if you don't have anything. And if you're clean at this moment and not pushing for a better life, then start pushing for a better life and make that step from being clean to being in recovery. Malena says, I love watching and listening to you. You are one of my favorite motivational speakers. You help me so much. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you, Malena. Thank you for being here and giving me the opportunity to help you. I love that. All right, guys, I hope you guys will come see me speak this weekend in Ladysmith. If you guys are in the area, come and check me out. One more time, because I love it so much, I'm going to play my new intro video before I get out of here. I love you guys so much. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay clean.